Spencer has a comfortable lead, but still Mike Dunn's got that line just below Dell.
Del Worsham, more than three rounds out below Del Worsham. His teammate Larry Dixon, Tony Schumacher, they can get in it, but they're going to have to do well this weekend.
And as we get ready to start the fourth and final session of qualifying, here's how we got here.
First up in session number one, Tony Schumacher and Brandon Bernstein. Tony Schumacher still looking for his first win of 2011. Well, he hasn't got the win yet, but boy, he makes a nice pass in the heat. 398 at 297 miles per hour for the number one spot.
And then in session two, under the heading, have you ever seen anything like this before? Corey McClenathan, the defending champion of Fuel Line, comes off and is pumping raw fuel in the air, which eventually ignites.
Well, when you got an engine making 8,000 horsepower, you have to put a lot of fuel into it and a lot of nitromethane. And when that line breaks, you're talking about a fuel pump that's capable of pumping over 100 gallons per minute. Well, it laid it out on the track. I'll tell you, it wasn't very impressive on the timesheet, but boy, it made for great video. Next up, we had Morgan Lucas, teammate Sean Langdon under the lights. Friday night, Sean goes up in smoke and Morgan goes up in flames. Runs a nice pass of 398 at 297 miles per hour, but the run would be disqualified because he put oil on the racetrack. Tough break.
And then there's Larry Dixon and Bob Vandergrift. Dixon, Alanabi driver, trying to move up in the points, and look at that, 391, 303 miles an hour, and he goes number one.
Then session number three earlier today at Spencer Massey, Corey McClenathan. We saw Corey with a big fire. He gets down the racetrack, makes a nice pass. But how about Spencer? He smokes the tires once again. This is a car that went down the racetrack at one point this season 40 times in a row. This is unbelievable from my standpoint because this car has been so consistent. You take a look at it, you see the big Goodyear tires well down track, just could not stick at about 300 feet. Spencer does a very good job of catching it quick. Thought it was going to recover it, hooked up pretty good, but then you see it kind of jump up on the tire again, start smoking again, and he ran a 442 with all of that effort. But boy, it was only good enough for the number 16 spot at that point.
And then he was bumped out. And to add to the insult, he ends up with a flat tire.
And here's how he got bumped out. It was David Grubnick and Sean Langdon. And Sean Langdon was already in the show, but watch David Grubnick. He makes a nice pass. That 402 elapsed time at 295 miles per hour bumps out Spencer Massey.
So as we're getting ready for this last session of qualifying, here's how they stand with Larry Dixon number one, his teammate Tony Schumacher right behind him, and then Del Worsham. Look at Troy Buff. A great run, sits in fourth.
Made that great pass Friday evening. The bottom eight, you see Bob Vandergrift, our most recent winner, or recently winner in Dallas, Texas, in the number 9 spot, all the way down to Terry McMillan on the bump.
Yeah, but take a look at this. Spencer Massey still not in this field. For more, let's go to Dave Reed.
Well, Paul, in Spencer's pre-race press release, he said simply confidence is way up in this team, and why not? 3 straight finals, including that big win at the last race over the quickest run in history. The new point leader so supremely confident that despite a forecast of heat, he said we're not only concerned, we're not scared about it at all. Are you nervous about it now, Spencer? I'd have to say so. I talked to his crew chief, Todd Okahara, and he flat says this car has been a beast off the starting line. Despite 2 major changes, they still cannot get this car to leave the starting line without smoking the tires. They will have one more opportunity coming up in just a little bit. And what this team isn't sweating for the temperatures, oh, they most certainly are just trying to get qualified.
And this final session is going to really be something. I'm Paul Page with Mike Dunn. Let's talk about Spencer Massey for a moment. An IHRA champion, the Rookie of the Year, and now really in his second full year of racing. He uses that humor. He uses it a lot. But I think he uses it to mask a very serious person who has the mental agility to be able to come back.
Oh, absolutely. And he's got to be a serious contender or a serious player in this game because he is so focused. That's why he has such great reaction times and so consistent on that tree. But if you don't have a car that can get qualified for the race day, doesn't matter how good you are at being able to step on the gas, you're not going to be able to showcase your talents. Right now, it's all down to one more run. He has to get it down that track and into the show.
So that's the big story in Top Fuel.